Hi guys, Tim here again from South Oz Hobby Hunter. Now today I'm going to do a quick review on the iAiming iA617 Smart Thermal Rifle Scope that was lent to me by the guys at the Adelaide Gun Shop here in Adelaide. Now I've used it for a few weeks and taken it out on a hunt. I managed to get a few cats with it, but I won't be showing them. That's in a future video. This one is just a quick rundown on what you get in with the rifle scope and the pros and cons that I found with it. So let's get into the review. So the iAiming rifle scope comes in a nice hard cardboard box with the magnetic closure, and inside that box is a nice soft case that holds all your gear. So inside the soft case, we open it up, we have the iAiming iA617 thermal rifle scope. You also get a battery charger, and it has a LCD screen down the bottom that gives you an indication of how much charge the batteries have and how much longer you've got left to charge them. With the battery charger, you also get the 240 power adapter. There is also a nice carry strap, so you can hook that onto the soft case if you need to use it and carry it around. There's a very nice lens brush that's supplied in the case. And put that there. You get two batteries. Now these are the 3400 milliamp hour batteries, and they'll give you about 6 hours run time on your scope, which is quite enough for a good night's shoot. But I would recommend getting a spare couple just to have handy if you need to. The final two things in the case that you get is a M5 Allen key for undoing the screws on the Picatinny rail, and your user manual. Now inside there it gives you a rundown on how to operate all the little features and the specifications of the scope. So well worth having a good read of that before you start having a play with it. So let's have a quick look at the thermal scope. Here it is here. We'll start with the underneath of the mounting point. As you can see, it is a Picatinny style mount, and it is quite solidly mounted and well made. It does have Allen keys there, so you can remove it if you wish to find a different mounting system. On the front of the scope, you have a fitted or fixed lens cover, and that is permanently fixed. So if you want to remove it, you're going to have to do some modification to your scope. Not recommended by me because it may void your warranty. I do find it an issue because with the lens cover open, it does limit how much purchase you can get on the focal ring. Speaking of the focal ring, that's up the front. It does have a nice grip to it, and it is nice and firm, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to move it, but once you do move it, it locks into position. Going further down the scope, on the back there, we have the battery compartment. So we can open that up using the thumb screw. Open it up, and on there you have your plus and minus indication to show you which orientation to put your battery in. Close that back up. On the rear, you have this nice rubberized eye cup. So that gives you a nice seal between your eye and the scope to prevent any ambient light leaking out the sides, which might give you a position away with a light wary animal. On the right hand side of the scope, you have the manufacturer's access port. So if there's an issue with your scope, The manufacturer will connect the computer up to the side once you send it back to them, and they can fix any issue with it. So not really a user interface. Now finally, the button on the left hand side of the scope is the all-in-one control button. So it has a center button, and then on the outside of it is a scroll wheel. So you use that to turn the scope on, select through the menu, zoom in, zoom out. Pretty much everything that this scope can do is done through the on-off button or the scroll wheel. Finally, you have your viewing screen focus point. So you adjust that to set the viewing screen focus to your eye. Once you've done that, you leave it and you forget it. Unless someone else uses the scope, you shouldn't need to adjust that. I'll now go over a few of the specifications and features of the iAiming iA617 Game Changer Smart Thermal Rifle Scope. They're going for a recommended retail price at Adelaide Gun Shop at the moment for $4,225. It comes in an anodized aircraft aluminum body. The sensor is a 640 by 512 uncooled thermal sensor, and it gives a pixel pitch of 17 microns. So it's actually a fairly fine thermal image. You can get a better one, and that is the iAiming iA617, and that has a 12 micron pixel pitch. It has a zoom feature from 1.6 to 12.8 digital zoom. So what that does is the digital zoom crops that image, makes the image larger, and because of this, as you zoom into the object that you're viewing, the image will start to pixelate. The image is actually projected onto a nice OLED display screen, which is focusable to your eye, as I said earlier. The detection range is out to 1,200 meters or 1.2 kilometers. It'll pick out an adult-sized human at that distance. It comes with 7 different palettes, and they are white hot, black hot, iron bow, glow bow, sepia, red, and green. Along with the 7 different colour palettes, you have 6 different reticle styles. So you can choose one that suits the way you shoot, or the one that you like the best. It has Wi-Fi apps available for both iPhone and Android, so you can sync up and control your scope via the app on your phone. You will also need this app to do the recording from the scope. It has an inbuilt memory of 32 gigabytes, it's waterproof, and as I said, the batteries will last about 6 hours of use. The weight is 760 grams and the length is 182 millimeters in length. It also comes with 8 different profiles. So you can store up to 8 different profiles for different rifles, different calibers, or different projectile weights. It also comes with a one-shot auto zero function. So basically you go into the auto zero function, you fire one shot down range, the thermal camera uses that image and calculates how far off your point of aim was and adjusts the reticle to that new point of aim automatically for you. There's a little bit of algorithms and technical stuff that I don't really understand, and it works really well. It also has a manual zero function. So if you don't want to use the auto function, you feel more comfortable doing it manually, then you can do so. So we'll go through the pros and cons of this scope. We'll start with the cons, as they're the bad points. First of all, the objective lens cover. As I said, it makes it a little bit difficult to adjust your focal ring at the front of the scope. The low profile mount, great idea. However, on some rifles you may need to put a spacer like I did to allow for the gun to function. So with the low profile mount, I couldn't actually cycle the bolt on my 22 rimfire because it was hitting on the low profile mounts. It doesn't come with a digital rangefinder, but it does have a feature in there where you can approximately gauge how far your target is by going into the feature, selecting the height of the object that you're looking at, then using the scroll wheel you place a line above the object and a line below the object, and that will give you an approximate distance to that object that you're trying to focus on to. The menu wheel, great idea having one button to control everything. However, it can get a little fiddly to go through all your menus to adjust what you need to do. And finally, the feature that I didn't like the most out of this scope was the fact that you had to record it to your phone. It didn't record directly to the scope, and it didn't have a sole press one button and it started to record, press the button again and it stopped recording. It does, however, have a recoil recording feature where it will sense the recoil of the rifle and start recording. Not my preferred choice. However, it does work. There is also a little bit of lag between the transfer of image from the scope to the phone during the recording process. Let's go to the pros as I saw them. Considering the functions and what it does, I found it to be very light and also fairly compact. The image. I cannot fault the image on the minimum zoom. It was absolutely crystal clear once you actually got in there and focused it to the correct image. However, as soon as you start to zoom in, as I said, it starts to pixelate. That is just a natural occurrence when you're using digital images. Another great feature of these scopes is they work whether it's daytime or nighttime. And when you're using them at nighttime, you don't need the added weight of a torch or secondary light source to provide infrared or a white light, red light beam. The one-shot auto zeroing is great. I like that feature. It also has the manual feature, so if you choose to do it manually, you can. And finally, I do like the choice of having several different reticle styles and colour palettes to choose from. Overall, a great scope. Well worth the money? Yes. Would I be getting one? Probably not. As I said, I am a infrared shooter. I like shooting under infrared light. It does give you a little bit better definition of the image that you're shooting at. Now, shooting through the thermal, I'm not sure it was me or it's just the nature of thermal optics, is it was a little bit difficult to pick out animals at distance. Now, shooting at some cats, it was hard to distinguish between the cat and the hay bales that they were sleeping in or resting in because of the heat signature or ambient heat inside these hay bales, which is probably why the cats are sleeping there, because it's nice and warm. Out in open fields, cats, foxes or other pest animals won't stand a chance when using the iAiming Game Changer iA617. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be going on to a few more hunting videos very soon, including some cat ones, so stay tuned for that. I'll also be having a giveaway in the next couple of weeks to celebrate the birthday, I think it's the second birthday, of the South Oz Hobby Hunter channel. Overall, great scope. I thank the guys at Adelaide Gun Shop for letting me have a bit of a play with this. If you do want to go out and check them out, jump online. I've put a link in the description below for both the iAiming brand of rifle scopes and also for the Adelaide Gun Shop. So go and see the boys and Alan at Adelaide Gun Shop if you're interested. So thanks for watching. That's my first major review on a thermal rifle scope. Quite nice. As I said, I really quite like it, but I don't think it's a rifle scope for me. Thanks again for watching. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. To get notifications of new videos, click on the bell. And until next time, please stay safe and stick to social distancing.